My movie is called Different Kinds of Rain, and it's a family drama, and it tells the story about a family whose son doesn't come out of his room anymore. And it's a story actually about the family members, like the mother, the father, and his sister, who are standing in front of the closed door, and and they are trying to get him out and trying to understand why he's inside the room.
Mike! Was ist mit deinem Bruder?
Mach die Scheißtür auf! Der will nicht raus.
Komm, wir holen ihn da raus.
Mike ist nun 18, er kann da tun und lassen, was er will. Er ist ja nicht krank.
Also ich kenne sonst niemanden, der sich freiwillig in seinem Zimmer einsperrt.
Er ist doch kein Spinner. Das pisst die ganze Zeit sich zum Kotzen. Aber davon kriegst du ja nichts mit.
Wenn du so weitermachst, dann kommt er da nie raus.
Willst du verhungern lassen?
Mike, warte doch mal. Lass doch mal die Tür auf.
Mach das kaputt, Mike!
Hast du noch Kontakt zu Mike? Könntest du ihn mal anschreiben? Du bist doch sein bester Freund.
Ich vermisse meinen Jungen.
Für wen ist denn der?
Für einen Freund von Mike.
Lieber Mike, Regen, der auf Haut fällt, ist der schönste Regen.
Er hat zurückgeschrieben.
My producer, Melanie Andernach, and my writer, Karin Katschi, they were working on it already. And so I was reading like the first draft of the book, and when I was reading it, it was very different during that time. But for me, it was, I loved the idea of a closed door, because I think that this is a problem a lot of families or a lot of people have. It's about the lack of communication somehow. But actually it's, there's like this phenomenon. It's a Japanese, or they discovered it in Japan. It's called Hikikomori. That means something like people who withdraw. And it's about, it's quite a lot of young adults, mostly men, withdraw themselves from society, from life. And this is something that, they discovered in Japan, or they noticed that this happens to a lot of young adults in Japan, but it's also in Europe quite common. Yeah, I have a wonderful cast in the movie, and I'm very lucky. They are great actors, very well-known actors in Germany. And yeah, I sent them the book and talked to them and explained my idea about the story. And then I was very lucky because they wanted to do it. So that's how we came together. I think I pretty much stick to the script. There was like some scenes we did some improvisation, but mostly it was written. But still, I mean, you know, you can sit on the desk and write and think about the story, but if you go on the set and, you know, and the actors come to the set and you work all together, it's always quite different than the thing you're just writing down. So this is like a normal process. But yeah, I would say that we pretty much stick to the script. I just got a fund for my new film, so I'm writing on the new one. But it's a bit too early to tell what's all about it. But it's going to be a drama as well. And it's actually about someone from Syria who lives in Germany and decided to go back to Syria. but I'm still in the process of writing. And this is a great festival. I mean, I was very happy that we got invited. And the focus is on music and film. And so this is really, I really met a lot of people who are composers and sound designers. And this is so important for good films. I mean, the sound level, or the sound, the music and so on. I mean, this is something, it's so important for a good film. So I like that the focus is really on this here in Albania. I mean, I was closely working with the sound designer and also with Volker Bertelmann, aka Hauschka, who's doing the music. And it was always like, if you're talking about sound design, it was always like that we decided, I mean, basically the story is about a person who's not there, who's missing. It's a lack of something. So we had to give him a voice or like a feeling. And we didn't, you know, because the doors closed, we didn't just, you know, we could have decided to put like all kinds of sounds behind the door in his room, like that he's playing all this killer games on the computer and something like that. But we didn't want to do this because it would have put a focus on his character. We didn't want to put we wanted to have it open. Actually, we don't know how he is and how he feels, and this is the problem the family has. So that was important, that the audience feels the same way. So we were really much thinking about how to, you know, some sounds we put, and we really had to think about those sounds. I mean, sometimes we hear him walking, or we hear that with paper, because he writes little notes which he puts under the door. So we hear paper. We hear a lot of rain because he's really spending his time watching the rain, even though it's on the computer and something like this. So, but on the other side, we added sounds to him, to his life, so we know that he's not dead, he's alive, there is someone. And on the other hand, sometimes we withdraw the sound, so it's kind of like empty, or there's something missing. And we also did it with sound somehow. So this was a strong sound concept we working on. It's a tough question. I mean, the idea is really that the story is about this son who is not there, and the family get sick about that. I mean, they don't understand him, and I think for me it was always so important that we could have told the story of another perspective. We could have jumped into the room and tell the story about the boy, why he decided to close the door and doesn't participate in real life anymore. And but I wanted to tell the story about the person who are confronted with the decision of one person without getting an explanation, just the result of it. So I think the door becomes kind of like a mirror to them. It's about isolation, about miscommunication or not, or even the lack of communication, and it's about being not functional anymore, which is very. I mean, I think nowadays a lot of people have the feeling, because you know, we're living in this kind of digital world. We have the phones, there's the computer. You get people call you, people want something from you. You have to, I don't know. You are so comparable to others because of the digital world. And I think for me sometimes I feel so overwhelmed with that, and I wish I can just there's some time I can be just by myself and be not functional to the world. And so this is all the themes which I'm very interested in, and it was I think a strong decision and the right decision to tell the perspective of the family who really is having a hard time trying to understand why the son is not coming out of his room anymore. The movie is going to be in Germany on the 29th of March, so it's next week. Yeah, and I'm really looking forward.